Do you know how much I love being wrong?
You don't like being wrong.
About this, I do.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Yeah, so this week we're talking about the Gencon. Was it Gencon?
Yeah, Gencon Top 8.
Gencon Top 8, the tournament. And kind of what we saw there that is, quite frankly, whack.
It really is.
Like, we saw the German one.
The German one was dominated by Empire.
And this one is interesting. We'll get into it in depth as we go. I'm your host, Isaiah.
I'm Chris.
And this is Locked Loop.
We do not trust headlong into folly on the orders of a single bad man. He's got nukes.
You're the last boots on the ground.
Position standby for defensive fire.
Jedi. Like my father before me. Ding, ding. Vex on the field.
Attention on deck. This channel is now under military control.
So, okay. I mean, a lot of this is coming from the 5th Trooper, but I am pulling up the TTO. Or was it TTT?
That's TTO.
Yeah, so I'm just trying to pull up the TTT for it, Tabletop TO. It looks like we have no time to go through all of it, because you got to understand how these tournaments were broken up.
Yeah.
So the tournament day 1 was essentially full-on 3 games run at it tournaments. You had two tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
Top 4. Day 2 was kind of Day 2 was a elimination.
Mm-hmm.
So the top parts of both tournaments came together and did an elimination. Top 4 from each went to finals.
Mm-hmm.
And then the finals are what we're looking at here. Let's give just a shout out to some of the Battle Droid people who tried the triple staps, so we know they were in this tournament.
Yeah.
And somebody running a snail tank, so beautiful. I love to see it. It was Empire and Rebels that went to finals.
Empire, Rebels, and Shadow Collective, actually.
Yes. Okay. So we'll just start going 8th to 7th. Well, top 8, not necessarily in any order. First list we're looking at is, of course,
Gonna look at the winners list.
Maul Bus Medley.
Oh, yeah.
So you got the Black Sun Vigo, Pike Syndicate, Darth Maul, Pike Syndicate Foot Soldiers, 2 soldiers, Black Sun Enforcers, 2 of those with scatterguns. One of them had the captain in it, and then a speeder truck.
I think they figured out, because I did not see a single triple or quad speeder bike list in this at all.
I think they found the counter.
I think it's the bus.
I think it's the bus, and I think I know how they did it. I didn't watch any of these, but I have a feeling they just stuck the bus in its way.
Yep. And then I did notice that a decent amount of these guys had heavies, or they just used the Jedi.
Yeah, so like Maul, Force Push, Force Choke, Vigilance, Tenacity, and the Darksaber. Okay, so the next one is also pretty similar. So we're just going to kind of talk about them together. It's called Black Sun on the Run. Black Sun, 2 Black Sun commanders, one with improvised orders. Darth Maul, Force Choke, Vigilance, Force Push, Tenacity, Darksaber. Enforcers with Scattergun and Recon Intel. Black Sun Enforcers, 2 Black Sun Enforcers, both of them have the McDade Enforcer. One has the Black Sun Enforcer extra unit, and then a fragmentation grenade.
Grenades are being used again.
Grenades in the top 8, man. And then, of course, a naked speeder truck.
Yep.
I wonder if the strategy was just to get Maul in with that speeder truck.
I'm betting that's what it is.
Now, do you want to know something that's really fascinating about this? Look at the command cards for Black Sun on the Run and for the Maul Bus Medley. So Maul Bus Medley has Duel of the Fates, Witch Magic, the Phantom Menace, His Eminence, Discretion, and Seize What Power We Can. The Sun on the Run has Duel of the Fates, Witch Magic, the Phantom Menace, His Eminence, At Last, and Seize What Power We Can.
The only difference is what
They're all Darth Maul's command cards.
Yeah.
There was no generic command cards in this mix.
Yeah.
Except for standing orders.
which is required, obviously.
Yeah, and so I'm wondering if it's not the Shadow Collective that's super strong.
It's Maul.
It's Maul. Let's keep going. We got a Pike gun line, 2 capos, so 2 capos with vigilance, a capo with improvised orders, Maul, Pike Syndicate foot soldiers with P-13M disruptor soldiers and the Pike extra soldier, and more of those with the capos, and then foot soldiers with an electro whip. And then, of course, command cards. Duels of Fates.
Yep,
Witch
exact
Magic,
same thing.
Phantom Menace, His Eminence at last, and seize what power we can.
Yeah.
These lists here are highly reliant on Maul.
Oh yeah. It's harder than it sounds, but taking out Maul, you can probably cripple the list.
It's harder than it sounds unless you're packing what you need.
Uh-huh.
What you need is immobilization tokens. Because Maul gets in quick, so you just need to be able to pin him down for a couple rounds, and the rest of the team can go to work. That's the issue here is, like, I'm looking at these and I'm going, okay, we've seen a lot of Shadow Collective. There's probably a lot of Shadow Collective there. I don't see that they were the strong bit. I think Maul is what's holding these lists
think Maul
together.
in the truck, yeah.
The last one didn't even have the truck.
Oh. So it's gun line.
Yeah, I think Maul is just really strong right now, and having like 6 of his specific command cards is really nice.
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's keep going. Pescatarian Luke DLT. The Syndicate Capo with Vigilance, Rebel Officer with Vigilance, and Portable Scanner. Op Luke with Push, Burst of Speed, Jedi Mind Trick, and Tenacity.
We got the 3 Rebel Troopers, and then we got the DLT, the Captain, and Situational Awareness.
2 Pike Syndicate Foot Soldiers, P-13 Disruptor Soldier, and Pike Syndicate Foot Soldiers, and 2 Sniper Teams.
Holy crap. I think he might have... This guy cracked the code on snipers. On Rebel snipers. That's all that's in here. Other than Luke, obviously.
Well, his core. The DLT-20As.
Mm-hmm.
I think the DLT-20As and then the snipers paired well together. And this whole thing is about keeping dodges out there. You can see we got 2 sets of Vigilance and a Portable Scanner.
Yeah.
So it's all about getting your dodges out. And we saw that as well, like looking through. Free tokens is really good.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because you're like, yeah, I'm generating... If I put a dodge on each of these rebels and I only have to use one every attack, then I'm going to generate 6 dodges.
Yeah.
Just for free. Mm-hmm. Then we add the Independent, and then we add Luke, and then Vigilance to keep dodges out there. 2 sets. So you could either have 1 on Luke and 2 Rebels Troopers, or you could keep 2 on Luke. Yeah. So, free dodge tokens. It also makes them hard to kill.
Oh, yeah.
Dodge tokens always make things hard to kill.
Mm-hmm.
Next one up is... We're moving into the top 4 now. Rebels, your daddy's Luke DLT list.
By the way, the names on some of these are amazing.
I love how they name their lists.
So this one has Op Luke with Burst of Speed, Force Push, Jedi Mind Trick, and Into the Fray. Very interesting choice. And then you got 2 Rebel Officers with Vigilance and Electro Binoculars, 2 Rebel Troopers with DLT-20s, the Trooper Captain, Smoke Grenades, and Situational Awareness. Smoke Grenades is an interesting choice here.
I think it's smart because they're trying to make it even harder for them to kill.
Yeah. Which is really good.
And then you got 2 Rebel Troopers with DLT-20As, the Rebel Trooper Captain, Recon Intel, and Situational Awareness.
And then 3 Commandos with the Sniper. That's an interesting list.
Yeah. It's an interesting list. I'm just looking something up real quick. I'm just looking up the DLT-20A.
I'm pretty sure it's the Sniper.
Well, those are Rebel Troopers.
I know. I'm pretty sure it's the heavy Sniper that can go on.
I'm just checking Legion stuff just to be like, yeah, this is what it is. Okay, the DLT-20A Trooper. Yeah, it's the Sniper. So it's 2 black, 1 white, critical 1, range 1 to 4. Critical 1's really nice on Rebel Troopers. And then, of course, the 2 black, 1 white added on top of that is a good amount of dice. I think we're like into a long range, short range game.
Oh yeah.
Survivability and range is all about it. We're trying to get into melee as quickly as possible, it
Yep.
seems like. And we're trying to stay alive while we're getting into melee.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're trying to pick stuff off at range as they're coming in.
Okay. We're in the top 4 now.
Top 4.
This list is very interesting. I actually really like this list, and I want to run it. So it's got Op Luke with Force Push, Jedi Mind Trick, Force Lift, and Into the Fray. It's got 2 Fleet Troopers with their shotgun. I love that shotgun. And we got 2 Naked Rebel Troopers, R2.
With C-3PO.
Yeah, with C-3PO. And we got the speeder truck with Wedge in it.
So that's your commander.
That's the commander. And then we have 3 Wookiee warriors with offensive push and tenacity.
That is
That's a
trashy melee list. You're just getting in there and trashing their units.
Yeah.
You're like, what do we put in the speeder truck? I don't know.
Wedge.
Wedge. Well, Wedge. What do we put in the speeder truck? Luke, or do we put some Wookiees? Or do we stick R2 in there? or there's a number of things you could put in that speeder truck, and it would be nasty. Shotgun in there.
Oh yeah.
It just runs into the line, and it just starts blasting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that is really good. Okay, so I'm reading up on it. So it looks like Luke started in the bus most of the time. And it allows Luke to get into their lines round 1. Yeah, the Wookiees and fleets are usually alongside them, serving as distraction and getting damage in.
Huh.
Wow, that is a lot.
That is a lot.
Uh-huh. Of course, the garbage can on wheels. It really just did its own thing.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now we're in the top 2.
Yep. The runner-up, Double Decker Mall. So it had 2 of the trucks with the Frenzied Gunner, the Backworld Medic, Unorthodox Tactician, and the Heavy Laser Retrofit.
Okay, then you got Maul with Force Trick, Force Push, Vigilance, Tenacity, and the Darksaber.
Yep. And then we got the Pike Syndicate Capo with Improvised Orders.
It's Capo.
Whatever. And then we've got 2 Black Sun Enforcers with the Magdets, the Black Suns, and targeting scopes, and frag grenades. And then we have 3 Naked Pike Syndicate Foot Soldiers.
It's interesting that this took second. I think this list trashed anything with armor.
Oh, yeah.
Any armor, other trucks, I think it just trashed them.
Mm-hmm.
I think Maul was also nasty. I'm looking through, yeah, so there is so much like aims and stuff, and independent going around. They just shot things to death.
Mm-hmm.
He just shot everything, and Luke getting in there Maul in a speeder truck. Beep beep. Improvised orders. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Everybody didn't like improvised orders.
It's really good.
Shadow Collective loves improvised orders because of independent.
Yep.
Independent means we can give them all independence, but we still have some order control.
Yeah.
Which is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Maul, again. So I do think, like, Maul is the strongest unit now.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, here's why I say this. Like, the German one, we didn't see as much Maul. We saw a lot more, like, traditional triple bikes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I think what's going on here is Gencon came to play.
Oh, yeah.
These are all the players that study the meta, play, like, Yavin Invader Leagues, and so found that counter prior to the tournament to the triple lists. And just slammed them with buses, with Maul, and just hit them with that.
Oh, yeah.
I think the counter's been found.
Oh, yeah.
So I think when we go to Worlds, we're going to see these two metas kind of play out against each other. And I think the triple lists and quad lists may lose.
Yeah. I think you might be right. And then the winner is your typical Imperial gun line.
I fit in a carry-on.
Yep. And I'm not even kidding.
This is not a typical Imperial gun.
It's not a typical. It's an Imperial gun line.
Double bounty.
Double bounty, yes.
So you've got Inferno Squad with O-Push and Emergency Transponder. 2 Sniper Strike teams. Aiden with Offensive Push, Situational Awareness, Ascension Cables, her rifle, and the ID-10 with a Emergency Transponder.
We got Boba Fett with Hunter, an emergency transponder, Recon Intel, and emergency stims. I haven't seen emergency stims used in a long time.
They get used on Boba Fett just to keep him alive.
Oh.
Because if he's dropping his pips,
Mm-hmm.
he needs to survive.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just trying to stay alive. I'm just pulling up that emergency transponder real quick. Because I just need a refresher on what it does.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a bunch of them at this tournament, and so I think emergency transponders, are good. Might be like something new to be replacing like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. When you activate, if you are activated with an order from the order pool, you gain 1 aim, 1 dodge, or remove 1 suppression. Holy crap!
That's really good.
We're in the world where, suddenly we're in a world where order control doesn't matter as much.
It's not giving your things.
You're relying on independent, and with like stuff like emergency transponder out there, you're like, I don't need to give them orders.
It's a budget independent.
Yeah, it's a budget. Well, it's a good budget independent.
Yeah.
You get to pick,
and
you could remove a suppression even.
Yeah, that's really good.
So I think like we'll see a lot more emergency transponders.
Mm-hmm.
They're really nice.
Yeah.
Bosk with Hunter, shore troopers, stormtroopers with a medical droid,
and smoke grenades.
Smoke grenades. And then Imperial officer with underworld connections.
And you can't forget the mortar.
Honestly, that is a very boring list.
It's not as interesting as the other ones. However, that was the top list.
Yeah.
Which tells me he knew what he was playing and he knew how to play it.
Yeah. So he knew this list. He knew how to play it. He knew how to play it well.
Yeah.
That is, although I'm looking at this, I'm going, that is a standard list. Boba Fett.
Just kid it out.
Yeah. And the only Boba Fett cards he took were Whipcord Launcher and a Z6. Jetpack rocket. Which I think he needed that for 2 things. I think he put Boba in there for 2 things. Boba can tie up Jedi.
Uh-huh.
Especially with that Whipcord Launcher. He can get in there and he can just tie a Jedi up for a couple rounds.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's got Impervious. Whipcord Launcher gives him immobilization tokens. The rocket is obviously for armor. And then the tactical strike, you're going for that tac strike.
Oh, yeah.
Reptilian Rampage, Concussive Blast. Standard stuff. It's not an exciting list, which I'm glad to see a non-exciting list win this tournament.
Yeah.
Because it means your standard lists have a chance.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Okay, so overall, how do you feel about this?
This is a very interesting tournament. This completely shattered our expectations from last week. So
top 4 gets an invitation to Worlds. That would be the Luke, Double Decker Maul, I Fit in a Carry-On, and there's another one.
I think it's another Rebel list.
Yeah, it's one of the Rebel lists.
That's interesting that Rebels... I think this reinforces my thought that Rebels have a very high skill floor and a very high skill ceiling.
Yeah, so they can either do really well or they can do really poorly.
Yeah.
Empire, is just versatile, so you can build a list to counter anything.
Uh-huh.
Rebels are just really good at building kind of whatever and running with it. They like their Op Luke. Op Luke is really good.
Oh, yeah.
It's his disengage, honestly, I believe. I could be wrong, but firmly I believe a Jedi with built-in disengage is really good.
Oh, yeah.
This is weird because you're you're sending 2 Saber. Let's talk about Saber wielders. Maul, Luke. We saw Maul and Luke.
Mm-hmm.
Those are our Saber wielders. Those must be the only ones viable at this level play.
Oh, yeah.
Because Vader is good. I bet he could do well.
Mm-hmm.
I think Vader could do well in certain lists. Honestly, I'm disappointed that, the Republic and the Separatists got crushed.
The Separatists made it in top 8.
What?
The Separatists made it into top 8.
No, they didn't.
I thought they did.
No, they didn't.
Oh, right, they didn't.
It was Shadow Collective that made it into the top 8.
Yeah.
The top droid list was just a super tech triple step super tech list with a snail tank. And the top Republic list was your standard Obi-Wan list.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be interesting when we go to Worlds and we see the clash of these playstyles. Because when we see the old the old triple step clash with the speeder trucks, with the gun lines, you're seeing an interesting thing go on where we're like, the meta has shifted with Shadow Collective.
Oh yeah, very much so.
Shadow Collective is so prevalent now that you're like, even like standard lists can be like, why would I take this when I could take a Pike Syndicate Capo?
Yeah.
When I could take some Pike Syndicate Foot Soldiers.
Also, AMG, if you listen to us, please help out the Republic. They need it really bad.
The Republic needs some saving, guys. You don't even play Republic.
I know.
Like...
I like seeing Republic be
It's
played.
sad. It's sad, truly. Like, you see a Republic get played, and you're like, Republic, guys, we need help.
Yeah, it's really sad when like the max amount of activations you see in a list is 8.
I mean, you can get heavy act lists now. They're just rare.
Yeah.
I mean, I've thought about bringing a trying to build a 15 act Republic list. It would be like 3 Barks, 2 LAATs, 6 cores, maybe the foot soldiers, and then R2 Padme, and then 2 commanders, which isn't good.
No.
And then ARC Trooper strike teams. They need help. They need
really
help.
do. Yeah.
We talk about this every week, and I don't want to go into it too much because we do. Every time we talk Legion, we talk about how bad of a state the Republic's in.
Yep.
Okay, overall, I think this is good. This shows that it's a more healthy meta than we thought it was.
Yeah.
Based on the other tournaments that we're seeing, it is a lot healthier.
Yeah.
The winning ones are taking and sweeping, like, different lists, and I love that. And it's heavy competitive. It's like, your daddy's DLT list is so much different than one of the top 4s. I Fit in a Carry-On is a complete outlier. I'm going to be honest there.
Yeah, it's a really big outlier.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, so like the Rebel lists in here are so different. I'm glad to see Fleet Troopers here.
Yeah. Nobody likes Fleet Troopers. I don't know why. They're awesome.
Fleet Troopers have their place.
Their base gun sucks. I will admit that. However, you give them their shotgun, that changes everything.
Their shotgun is great, and like shotguns in general are really nice. Yeah. The Republic shotgun. I've used the Republic shotgun before. It's a lot of fun. You just blast. Okay, so overall, Gen Con's in a healthy place. I can't wait to see how Worlds plays out.
Yeah, I'm going to be really excited for Worlds.
We're not going to be covering Legion until we cover Worlds.
Yep.
Or until we get a new release, like Commander Cody. We've had our Legion kick over the last, like, oh my gosh, this is what, the 4th or 5th episode that we did on Legion?
Something like that.
It's been every episode this summer has been Legion. And I'm glad that Legion's getting so much attention. And there's so much going on with Legion because there's not a lot going on with gaming as a whole.
Hey, look, we found out something to do with our usual break. Legion.
Legion. I mean, that's everything that we've got for you guys.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Isaiah.
I'm Chris.
We're logging out. If you're enjoying the content, please follow us wherever you're getting your podcasts.
Leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.
And of course, find our social media. It's in the description. Oh, one last thing. Share it with your friends, guys. If you know some Legion players, just introduce us. It really helps us grow. Word of mouth is the best way that shows like ours do grow.
Mm-hmm.
So share us with your friends.
Also, check us out on Twitch.
Twitch, yes. I did an entire, no death run of Shadow of Mordor completely by accident. I didn't mean to not die. I just, didn't die. That's everything from you guys. Thank you guys for listening.